Yeah, you right here.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
I gotta make sure.
Here we go. Good evening, y'all. Good evening, y'all.
Hey,
It's
y'all.
8:11 p.m. right now, man. And as promised, we got the Sweats by Stu in the building. If y'all don't know who she is, Stu, go ahead and tell everybody who you are, man.
I'm Stu, Sweats by Stu.
Where can they find you?
On 5 East 83rd Street.
Instagram, Twitter.
Sweats by, everything is the same. Sweats by Stu, Sweats by Stu. Sweats by Stu. Sweats by Stu online.com.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. Catch me everywhere.
Period.
You never there.
So right now I got Stu in the building, y'all. She's one of the biggest influencers in Chicago.
Oh my God, don't say that.
You are a huge influencer, and the good thing about it is you are a positive influencer. You know,
well, that's good.
You're not somebody that brings negative energy to to Chicago.
That's right. That's what it's about. Positivity.
Exactly. And that's what I always saw in you. The light you always allowed to shine. You ain't let nobody change who you was, regardless of what was going on.
I definitely know who I am.
But when did you know you wanted to be an entrepreneur? Like, when did it hit you? Like, you know what? I want to work for myself. This 9-to-5 shit, it ain't really for me.
You know what? I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur when I turned 25. Like, you know how they be like, at 25, you want to be like set. You want to know everything, wherever you headed. You want like the golden plan or whatever you gonna do. So when I turned 25, I was kind of just like, okay, it's serious now. Like, I'm 5 years to 30. I need to come up with what I'm gonna do, like which route I'm gonna take. And I just decided to take a limb and just work for myself and believe in myself instead of continuously pouring my attributes and my knowledge into big name companies. Like, why don't I just build my own company? And that's just how I began to think about it. Like, I started to read books about entrepreneurs and people that started their own businesses, how a lot of people started that I admired. And then once I started to read their stories, I'm like, I could do this. Like, I'm smart. Like, I work hard. Like, if I can give my all to a company or to someone else's business, imagine what I could do for myself. Right. So, yeah, at 25, that was mine. You said you started to study, like, people that, inspired you. Like, who was one of the biggest influences for you, like, coming up? As far as you knowing you want to be an entrepreneur, was there any entrepreneurs that you kind of had a chance to see firsthand and you kind of had a chance to learn from? Or? Firsthand, I can honestly say I had an internship at Ralph Lauren. So at that time, I was very like grounded and just really like wanting to know like everything, how he started from the beginning to the end. Like I learned it, but I got more into depth in it. Like once I got into like this field or whatever, like I looked at the way he went to selling ties door to door and building this big company that it has all these different houses under one huge house. I kind of admired that, like how Sweats by Stu can just be like Sweats by Stu athletic wear, Sweats by Stu kids, sweat. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I kind of like took that and I was just thinking of myself, like the things that I like and how many other things I like. With that, like, dang, I could just go ahead and, ground off that, like, just take those admirations I had from him because I had an internship there. Right. So, they teach you that firsthand. Like, they gonna teach you what's going on there firsthand, how he started, how he ended. But I wanted to, like, read books about it, so that's what I did. And so you said Ralph Lauren, so you just automatically went towards the direction of Ralph Lauren because you knew, like, I want to be around fashion? No, I didn't. I honestly didn't go for him firsthand. I had went to go get apply for all different internships as far as like fashion is concerned. So the Ralph Lauren kind of introduced you to that, or was it already? No, that's something I just wanted to do for myself because I was at a point in life that I didn't know if I wanted to be a nurse or if I wanted to study fashion. Gotcha. Okay. So in order for me to differentiate which route I wanted to take, I needed to actually be able to do something in this field besides work At the time, I had only worked at Abercrombie and Fitch, so I can use them as an example. Okay, I only worked there, so I can't really say behind the scenes how much in depth do I really like fashion besides getting fly every day. Like, what else is it? You know?
Yeah.
So that what led me to having this discussion with my dad. And then that's when my dad said, okay, apply to big fashion houses and apply for internships. I applied for Nike. I applied for Ralph Lauren. I applied for, like, you name it, but they are the ones that chose me. Like, they literally contacted me back. And what's funny is after I got the internship at Ralph Lauren, I had an array of people contact me after. But of course, like, once I seen like they accepted it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gone. Like, they moved me to New York. So who else wouldn't take that? Right. Like, if you love fashion, you better take it. Like, even if you just like going off on a limb, like, I don't know how this gonna go, but I'm gonna just see if I like it. And it was amazing. So from that point on,
I'm pretty sure like a lot of audience members want to know, because you're so successful and got to where you are, like, what do they need to do as far as education wise? Do they need it, or do they just have to have the drive and the ambition on their own? Like, what, you know what I'm saying? What, as far as that aspect, what needs to be done? Did you need any type of schooling at all? Or
I can honestly say, like, education is very important. Like, whether you go to college or if you open a book and read it, or you do some self, you know, anything to like just broaden your mind and your horizons, education is important. But actually, like, going to school, I'm not going to say that you need it. No, I would feel like you need networking and you need like relationships built outside of a school, besides just having a book in black and white telling you color palettes, or, you know, you name it. You can learn that from a book, but nobody is literally going to know who you are unless you are introduced to certain people, you're in certain crowds, and you're doing certain things. Education can't teach you that. So that's one thing I think that people miss. Like, they don't understand that you can have all the education in the world and you don't have that network, then it means nothing. Just like if you have the network and then you don't have the education, people can get over on you. Numbers are very important, knowing your laws and things, your contracts. Things like that is very important. You know, people asking you to, you know, they might want you to work for them or do something for them, and you might be getting a certain amount of money for it, and you could be getting this amount of money for it. Or are you doing something for free and they not paying you at all? And you're not even knowing that this is something that you can literally monetize off of. So, you know, it can go both ways. So I just feel like you shouldn't be a dummy, and you absolutely should not shame or shame people for going to school. I mean, SIUE was one of the best things that had ever happened to me. The people that I know that I met there, and my following, and friends that I still talk to this day that I'm very close with. One of my friends earlier from college came in earlier about a bunch of stuff, like Amanda. Shout out to Amanda. That's my fave. Like, just Demedi. Shout out to Demedi. He works for MTV. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are people I went to college with. If I didn't go to college with them, I would know them. You know, so I think that is very important. School is important. I would never bash school. And anybody that wants to SIUE know I loved school. I went to everything, all the activities, plays, whatever, because I love school. But I think that networking is important too. So I'm not gonna say you need it, but I think that all Black people should be educated.
Absolutely.
In whatever way you want to educate yourself. You don't have to have a degree to be an educated Black man, and I don't have to have a degree to be an educated Black woman. It's just a sheet of paper. We can be ignorant still with that sheet of paper. So you still have to educate yourself, your children, you know, your family. My mom don't know much about fashion. I educate her on that. So, you know.
Yeah, I actually feel the same way, because I went to school for business, and it's like,
I know,
everything I learned in business, the best thing that school got me was the people I met at school. You feel me? Not necessarily what I learned, but the people I came across and met. So I definitely agree.
And the people that is going to pay it for, or, you know, just be able to give you things that other people you may necessarily have known your entire life
can't really
can't get that.
Everybody can't do that. Everybody don't fit that role. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why you go different places, leave home and branch off and meet new people that you connect with.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's what's up. And I feel like sometimes you kind of put a stress on your friendship when you expect friends that's been around forever to be able to maintain and do things that, you know what I'm saying, people you met at school. You feel me? Because it's not gonna be like that, you know. So
it's not. And those are always different type of people. Like the people I met in college were just completely different people that I had never met in my entire life. To be just like the people I met in my internship, completely different people, you know. So it's just an amazing thing to be able to be around different people that are raised differently, come from different areas, and that is a whole nother network in itself. You know, you might be from here, there, or wherever, and now I have your network because you're from over there. So it just helps. Yeah. You know.
Yeah. If you can know somebody in Ohio and they really rocking with you, if you say I'm gonna come to Ohio, you know,
and people rocking with him or rocking with her,
you know, but that comes with first off, iron sharpens iron. Because you're gonna attract what you are. So if you're moving like a boss, you're gonna attract other bosses. So you know for a fact, I'm not a boss, I'm me. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And that's just how that works too. So it's good to hear you say that. It's good to see that. You know, I'm not crazy because that's kind of how I see it as well. You know, I'm trying to get to how you is. You feel me? So it's like I need to stay on that path. But getting back to the business side of things too, like what new business ventures are you kind of seeing right now or overseeing? Or you know anything? I know you don't want to give away too much. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody might try to steal the sauce. But what new business ventures are you currently like working on? Or, you know, thinking about doing right now?
New business ventures. I have been working on Sweats by Stu Kids. Okay. So that's my new business venture. I'm very, I don't even know how to say it. Like it's very difficult. Like this kid stuff is like, it's hard because it's so many different sizes and I don't know. It's way more difficult than adults. But that's my new business venture, Sweats by Stu Kids. I did like a small release before, but this like is going to be like a real release, like jogging suits, you know, t-shirts, hats for them, accessories, like the whole nine. And I'm just trying to put a lot of thought and money behind it, just simply because it's like something that I love. I love like getting fly, but I want to also see like kids get fly, like on some mommy, daddy, me type stuff. So I'm like really working on that. Quiet as kept. So it'll be a while, but it's coming.
But that's a great idea. You saying the kids, but see, I just immediately thought of this. When you think of kids and you think of having a kid, you think of always got to buy a shoe because their feet gonna keep going. Yeah, they're gonna be sad. They got to keep buying shirts, clothes. So say a kid gets addicted to Sweats by Stu, like a kid that could get addicted to Nike or Adidas. Now they keep telling their mom or dad like, "Oh, I outgrew this shirt. I need some more Sweats by Stu." They're gonna keep coming back to you as long as you know what I'm saying. You get to them whenever you do, and they like your brand. They just gonna keep coming back. So I feel like you definitely need to push that. It's always gonna be money in kids.
Yeah, and I just honestly, I just feel like it's something that you don't see often. If you really like think about it, kids don't have a wide range of options for toddlers. Anybody who's a parent will tell you it's very limited for them. So, you know, you got Zara, Baby Gap, you might get a couple of designers here and there who does like kids clothes, Gucci, Burberry, to name a few. But nonetheless, you don't have people that aim and gear streetwear to kids. You know what I'm saying? Like shirts with quotes on it or just cool little animations. It's not really like something that's just out here, you know, for us. So I think it's very important that I fulfill that need for y'all.
It is something that you kind of pushed on Chicago, and I kind of feel like you had a major influence on that. And that was to get people, the whole circulating the black dollar, and black businesses supporting each other and wearing each other's clothes. And you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Like I always see you standing on that, like we need to be supporting each other, we need to be wearing each other's stuff, and while we supporting, you know, the other people's clothes and whatever the case is. And as you come in right now, you got on a Risso shirt, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Risso. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Rich Soul.
We got other
Rich
entrepreneurs
friends.
watching the show. Shout out my boy Law Cannon, one of the members.
That's right.
But yeah, but that also goes along. I feel like social media had a lot to play with that. But I'm gonna kind of let you go into detail. Like, how do you feel like social media has affected your brand, or how is it negatively, positively? Like, how do you feel about social media in general overall?
It's definitely positive. Social media it's a great, thing. When I was younger, I remember like MySpace and Tag, I remember all of that stuff, but it wasn't like at our disposal. Like, it just wasn't right there. So you had to go home, get on the computer, or sneak on the computer in the computer room, check your stuff, say something. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like right in your hands. So I do feel like social media has tremendously helped my brand grow and get to different people in different cities. But I do feel like having the streets is more important. I feel like making an impact is more important than as many likes I can get or as many people, I don't know, that can repost my story on Insta. I just feel like that's not the top thing. Like, the streets is the top. Still, word of mouth is everything.
Right.
Like, the internet is right at our disposal, right? Cool. Okay. But still, if somebody walked in here right now and was just having a casual conversation with you, telling you like, oh yeah, I got something from Stu, like I really, really like it. Like, if it's great, I want to go get something else. Like,
I trust their word.
You would trust that more than you would trust the likes on Instagram or somebody commented on the jogging suit on Instagram, because that's kind of like an altered opinion. It could be somebody that has never bought anything from me, just genuinely likes to see me on Instagram. It might just be like a fan and literally don't know really what's going on with the clothes. But that's why the streets is more important than like Instagram.
Right.
I put it to you like this. If Instagram died right now today, no Instagram, I still got the street.
You still got the street.
Like, they still gonna come to my store. They still gonna buy something. They still gonna be able to come interact with me. It's still gonna be the same thing. And to me, that says more than me having 150 comments under my picture.
Yeah.
Me having 100K followers, because I know like how much merch I sell and the numbers don't add up. It's not the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might have these many followers, but I got this many people buying stuff. So you can't even like look at that. You gotta like look at the whole thing, because you can have the internet and don't have the streets, don't have the impact.
Absolutely.
So, okay, I'm gonna give it to you like this. I watched the $1 Million Game. I don't know if y'all watched this, but it's like one of my favorite podcasts. So it's called $1 Million Game. I watched the episode with Young Thug. It's a part 1 and a part 2. On the part 2, Thug said Wally asked him a question that was similar to what you just asked me, and I thought his opinion was really deep, because he said it was about streams, like buying music, whatever. So he was like, okay, you can have 7 billion streams, but then you might have a concert and nobody shows up. You know what I'm saying? You can, like, people could be listening to you, but then they not rocking with you like that.
Yeah.
Like, cause it's just casual. Like, okay, let me see how this sounds. That don't mean that they really like messing with you like that. Just like 7 billion people can like your picture, that don't mean they gonna buy it. So he said impact is more important. Like, an example, DMX having 30,000 people barking at a concert. Like, if you could get people to do something like that, a grown man, a grown woman, like, that's impact. Like, you literally, like, you're making people want to do something that you do and you think is cool because they rock with you so hard. So whether phones was in, out, whatever, like, this has, like, taken over your soul. Like, you like, man, I want to be like him. Like, I want to bark like a dog. Right. And that's how I look at it. Like, I don't care about the internet. I don't care about likes. I don't care about none of that. Like, I just do it because that's in, like, our generation. We got to, like, promote whatever. But I don't take offense to it if I don't get likes. I don't under my pictures I promote, or if my followers not going up, I don't, or if they going down, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Like, I know people come to my store every day. I know I get online orders every day. That's what's important.
Right.
Like, as long as I'm doing that.
For sure. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
As long as it's consistent. Like, I see the consistency in it. Like, that's what's important. Like, everything else.
You're seeing everything manifest the way it's supposed to.
Exactly. Because people might not want to comment. What if today what if you don't get no comments, and then you get 200 people come in the store to come back? You know, like, you don't know. And then the internet is weird now. Instagram is different. Everybody used to like comment on your picture, show you absolutely all the love in the world. But now people are like feeling like, oh, you guys are too internet. So I'm not going to keep commenting under your picture, liking and saying stuff. You're not saying nothing back. So you can't get mad at that. So you can't get, you know. For real though, so you know, people like, I ain't gonna keep doing that.
No bullshit.
So you never know, like maybe they do like it, they just gonna come back. They ain't gonna say nothing under your picture no more.
They want to seem like a fan.
Exactly, and it's messed up, but that's how it is these days. That's how it is.
Man, if y'all just not tuning in, man, we got Sweats by Stu and her as promised on the sit down with your boy Shawn Mitch, man. We live. She giving us all the ins and outs and the formulas to success. Go follow her on all platforms right now, Instagram, Twitter, at Sweats by Stu, and me at _Shawn Mitch, and follow the PayToPlay Instagram and Twitter at PayToPlay_ENT, and like, comment, subscribe to the PayToPlay ENT YouTube channel. That's a lot, Stu. Like, everything you just said, like, you could tell it's just a lot of passion behind what you speak about. Like, everything you say, you could just really tell, like, it's something that is coming from the heart. And I want to know, like, what is it that really motivates you to grind, to, like, you know what I'm saying, keep going hard? Because, like, you could look around and you're very humble, and you could look around and you see how a lot of things are going, you know what I'm saying, and you continue to work, you know. So I just want to know, like, what is it that motivates you?
What motivates me? I really am motivated by wanting a different type of life. Like, I can honestly say I didn't come from nothing, you know. Like, I'm not saying that I came from, like, you know, absolutely nothing, because then I'd be lying. But I'm just saying I want more, you know, and it's not even monetarily, because I just feel like it's going to come with it. Like, the money comes with it. My aim and my goal is to be successful. Like, that means that when I really look at the timeline, I should say, of from where I started to where I am now, it's so much more that I want to do and accomplish. That is where my passion stems from. Like, I know so many things that I would love to have released and do, and fashion shows, you know, swimming pool, whatever, all these different ideas, pool parties, like swimwear, you know, just ideas that I want to get out. That's my goal. My goal is to overlook everything that I ever thought that I could come out with and oversee it and follow through with it. Like, okay, I'm going to do it. And that's where my passion stems from. Not necessarily the dollar. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dollar, it comes, it goes, it comes back triple times, 10 times, then it goes low, it goes high again. If you're following the dollar, like, you're forever going to be up and down. You have to have something that is bigger than the money, you know? Like, if you just out to get money, you can sell drugs, you can fucking sell, you know, water bottles if you wanted to, if you just want some money. You know, it's easy to make money. You can go get a job and work and just get your paycheck, you know? So it has to be something else. And I have so many different things that I want to do as a designer, as a person, and just like as a humanitarian, like different things that I want to do. So that's where, like, that passion comes from. I can't do it if I don't have the means to do it. And then if I don't become better as a person, as a woman, as a businesswoman, then I can't align myself in these different crowds or with these different people. So I have to also change who I am as a person And that's the hardest journey I've been on throughout this whole process. Like forgetting who I was and letting that die down and growing to be a different type of woman so that I can sit at a different round table.
Right.
That's the hardest journey that I've been on throughout this whole thing. Learning everything that I thought was right and making it literally right because it was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, that's the hardest thing that it's been for me.
That's just growth.
Yeah.
That's all that is. And, you know, they say about that is not comfortable.
It's not.
But admit it to yourself and
it's not comfortable.
And be willing to go through the struggle and, you know, what comes with that. Like, you taking steps in the right direction for sure. So, like,
it's hard.
So with everything going on, you know, you got a shop now. Like in the next few years, you see yourself with maybe 2-3 shops, maybe a shop in a different location, a different city. You know, Atlanta, Florida, Houston, Cali. Like, what's going on? Like,
and
I seen you going to Cali a lot over the last summer, so I know you probably got so much.
I go to Cali a lot. I go to Cali a lot now.
Okay.
I just love going there because it's just like, I don't know, it just embodies passion. Mm-hmm. Like, it just gives me like a breath of fresh air. Like, I want to go. Mm-hmm. Now, this weekend, like, I would love to go, but I like going there, and I just feel like in a couple of years, I would be definitely have a store out of town and definitely have a kids store, and hopefully I'll be like on my way to having some kids or something.
So you've been hollering that for the past 5-6 years.
Not like a couple of years. Not like 2 years.
2 years. Mm-hmm. Hey, just make sure it's with the right one.
Like 2 years. No, I'm not rushing.
Because you know people gonna be ready to have a baby with a boss.
What?
So you gotta find another boss.
I'm not rushing it. I'm just putting it like into the universe.
Period.
So that the universe sends me like this rich man.
That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you do with everything else, right?
Exactly.
And it work, right? So you gotta
exactly.
Hey, I'll be telling people all the time, you can either pray or word. You cannot do both.
That's right.
Don't cancel.
That's crazy. I just saw that in a book earlier this morning that I was reading. It said praying is another sign. Worrying is another way of praying for misery.
So it's the opposite.
Yeah. It was a quote. In the middle of the chapter at the top, I was like, dang, that kind of is. I kind of like stuck there for a second. Yeah, that's like been my new thing. Instead of hopping, when I wake up, instead of hopping on my phone, because I used to have it as a bad habit, I read. Now I got a book on the side of my bed. I get up, do the usual watch the page, and I read for an hour. Yeah. And it's been helping me.
So you said you love Cali. I mean, I know you got the streets, you know what I'm saying, but is Chicago somewhere you want to stay, or do you see yourself in the future, like, maybe
I kind of like want to do split life live.
So have a crib here and have a crib somewhere else.
I don't want to move from Chicago. No, me personally, I'm cool. I've lived in other cities, plenty of them. So I feel like I've had that experience. If you've never like literally moved somewhere and like been there for a while, you can't say, but I've done it numerous of times, more than 3 times. So I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? If I want to move, I'm gonna know it. But I do want a crib somewhere else that it gets warm or it stays a little warmer than here. So of course, like I'm thinking LA, or I'm thinking like still having a crib in Houston. Like my mom is gonna be moving here soon, so I won't have like that go-to anymore. She'll be moving back home. Right. But I don't want to like permanently pack up and move from Chicago now. Not me. I'm cool.
Yeah. Chicago needs you though.
I love Chicago.
Chicago needs you though, for sure. For sure.
I love Chicago. I don't care what nobody say. Shoot 'em up, bang, bang, whatever. That don't got nothing to do with me.
That don't got nothing to do with you.
I'm just saying, I'm chilling. These people ain't bothering me. I ain't bothering them. And I just personally feel like people are just so negative when it comes to Chicago. Like, I've lived in other cities and just as much, or if not the same amount of stuff be taking place. Like, people come here or live here and they just act like it's just the bottom of the barrel. And it's like, yeah, you saying that because you never live anywhere else. And nobody there has ever told you stories about their cousin and their brother getting robbed and shot and killed and murdered and dragged. So you don't know. But when you go to those other cities and they tell you, oh yeah, my brother got killed, my daddy got like, then you be like, oh, this isn't much different. It's the same thing. Every hood, every city has their own hoods and their own little BS going on in the middle of them. So we're not the only people that do that. And it just frustrates me when people get to talking about it because I'm like, I didn't make it this far because people in Chicago are just so evil and negative. Like, yeah, you got a couple sour apples that's everywhere you go, but you can't just say this is a terrible city. Like,
you can't say it's no support at all. Because
you
people
can't
out
say
there that are willing to support that.
Yeah, you can't say that.
You have to put out the energy to attract those people, like you were saying earlier.
Absolutely. So. And if you looking at it one-sided in the way you see it because of XYZ that took place, then that's the way you're going to see it. You're not going to see the other side of it because it is so many different sides of this city. So if you want to, look at it in one direction, in one way, then that's the way you're going to look at it. And that's just how I feel about it. Like, I've grown tremendously since I moved back home. And I've only been back home, I think, 4 years. And the things that I've done within this time frame, 5 years, I think, the things that I've done within this time frame is just incredible. And when people tell me to move to LA, move to Atlanta, and this is like, you move, why don't you go move out there? Like, I'm successful, I'm fine where I'm at, like, I'm good. It's a lot of rich, successful people that live in this city and they're just fine. If you can't take it or you don't have anything that you can thrive off of, it's easy for you to say that. But when you're in this position, it's like, no, I made my way and I'm staying here. Like, cool. I do like every other person does. Get a crib somewhere nice. Go there when it gets super cold and snowstorms start to happen. Come back home. Like, that's what planes are for. I don't want to leave though. I'm good.
She good, y'all. She ain't going nowhere. So everybody that's listening, y'all know Stu ain't leaving y'all, man. So y'all can stop. You know what I'm saying? With all the tears. Man, Stu, you came in today. You dropped some jewels. Everybody that's watching this right now, y'all extremely lucky, man. And once again, I'm honored to have the Sweats by Stu here on the sit down with me, man. I'm so glad you came in here.
Yes, no problem.
Stu, you done gave me more than enough today. I just want to know, for all the young people listening and all the up and coming entrepreneurs and all, the people that want to have their own shops and stuff like that, like, let them know, like, the challenges they gonna face. Were the days you didn't want to get up in the morning? You know what I'm saying? What do you gotta say in words of encouragement? What you gotta say for words of encouragement for those people, those young ladies out there, or young men that look up to you as well?
Oh my God, everybody asks me this question, and I just always say, like, just to be consistent. Like, that's my main thing, and to do it because you love it and not for the money. Like, I can't stress enough. I'm gonna be like super transparent. Like, I can't stress enough the journey that I went on. Like, while I was doing this, like, I've not paid my car note. I've had cars taken from me. I've not paid my rent. I've done so many things that I had no business doing, like, just to sacrifice and, like, literally pick which I should do. Like, should I pay a bill or should I, like, get some merchandise? So that's why it's so important for you to be like, F the money. Like, the money don't even matter. Like, this is about flooding the streets. This is about, showing consistency and perseverance. Like, and to me, that's what it's all about. Like, you cannot do this without knowing, like, in your heart, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Like, people ask me so much, like, how do I do it? And I always tell them, like, because I can't see myself doing anything else. Not because I want money or I want to be rich or I want a Bentley or I want, you know what I'm saying, all the glitz and the glamour. It's more so because I have a vision that I feel like was God given, and I feel like I should put it out in the world because it's an art and I'm literally like selling something that I vision in my mind and in my room when nobody's there, or if I'm, just having a day. These are the things I think about. Clothes. I could be having a terrible day and I might come up with some of the best ideas because this is where my happiness comes from. So like, that's why you have to literally figure out, well, what is it I enjoy doing? What do I like doing? Like, no matter what, if I'm not even monetizing off of it, what do I like doing? And that's what's most important. Be consistent and do it because you love doing it. Like, not because, you see us looking fly or cool or whatever the case may be, or the next person. You might see people on jets, you know what I'm saying? And you like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like, I want to sell me a couple shirts so I can get on the jet. Nah, like, it's way deeper than that.
It's a lot more to it.
Yes, they done went through a whole trial and tribulation before they got on their jet. Trust me. So that's why it's so important, like, for you to know, like, this is what I see myself doing no matter what. Like, like how the movie Brown Sugar. Remember in Brown Sugar, she was like, she wanted to get back to like what she loved. So she was like, she thought about the first time or whatever, however she heard it. And then she was like, her first love was hip hop. So that's what made her go back and say, okay, I'm going to go and redo my steps and I'm going to find me a profession that works with the things that I love. And that's a great example because I know all majority of Black people is how the movie Brown Sugar. So that's just an example. Like, that's what it's about. Doing what you love. Like, even if you feel like it might not pay much. Okay, it might not pay much, but it's some way that you can monetize off that idea and get paid. You just haven't thought about it yet. Like, I was like, okay, I'm going to make sweatsuits. Like, I never thought, like, I could sell a $200 sweatsuit. You know what I'm saying? If people be like, no, I want 3. I never, like, this wasn't what I was initially thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just was like, that's what I like. That's my style. So I'm gonna make what I like. I'm gonna make stuff for girls that's like me. So you got to look at it like that.
You got to think outside the box too. I was just talking to somebody the other day, and they was telling me about a kid with a YouTube channel, and all he does is like toy reviews. He reviews toys, and he a millionaire. It's just like wow.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then when you hear this, like, wow, that's not even something that's. But he probably likes toys.
And that's just
he just figured it out at a young age, like.
And that's just like, it's universal. All kids love toys. Every race, every size, you know what I'm saying? So it's universal. It'll never play out.
For sure.
Yeah. So that's why, like you said, like, that's just easy, but it's something that has to be thought out. Like, and that's why I said, like, that passion got to drive you. If you don't have that passion, that late night, okay, what can I do? What am I really like looking at? When I wake up every day, like, what am I thinking about doing? Where do I see myself in 3 years, 2 years? You got to think about it like that. Not just now.
Not just now.
And not as a hobby, too. I feel like a lot of people make clothes for a hobby, and it's not a hobby. It's a passion. Like, if you're not passionate about it, don't make clothes. If you want to make your friend them some shirts, like, just do that. But you don't got to say it's a brand, because it's disrespectful to people like us who, like, put their pride, their joy, and they wants aside to do this. Like, I put a lot of stuff aside to keep my brand consistent. I could buy 10 Chanel's a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think about that. Like, I think about the progression I want Sweats by Stu to go in. Like, I want jeans. I want to make denim. I want to make swimwear. I want to, you name it. I could love to make some robes and pajama section. Like, you name it. But I have to pour back into the brand. If I don't do that, then I miss out. So that's what is going to keep you from going to Gucci, giving your cousin $5,000 to go to Gucci. The passion, you're gonna be like, no, I gotta put this back in the brand, bro. I gotta see you later.
You gotta protect the brand.
You gotta protect the brand.
For sure.
So that's what I got to say to y'all. Stay dedicated, stay consistent, and stay passionate.
Do what you love.
Do what you love. Period. Do what you love. Even if you love shooting dice, be the best.
Be the best
dice shooter. You nigga.
We gotta go to the casino. Hey. But no, for real though, Stu, I really appreciate you coming in here today and sitting down with me on the sit down.
No problem. It was fun.
Hey,
like it was very far though.
And we're gonna talk about
it off the camera.
We're gonna talk about it off the camera about this new location. But I appreciate you coming out. Everybody watching this, go like, comment, subscribe to the Pay to Play ENT YouTube channel and follow the Pay to Play Instagram at PayToPlay_ENT. And Stu, plug yourself one last time to the people before we get up out of here.
Okay, my Instagram is Sweats by Stu. My Twitter is Sweats by Stu. My Snapchat is Do It For Stu. And my website is sweatsbystuonline.com. And my store is at 5 East 83rd Street. It's right off State Street, right off the expressway. And come mess with me. I'm having a Memorial Day sale. Period. 50% off, so don't forget about that. And Juneteenth shirts are dropping this week, so don't forget about that. Because I got the rawest Juneteenth shirts ever again.
You definitely do.
Yeah,
I'll make sure y'all get in there. And Stu, last but not least, I know you like to Pay to Play, man.
I do.
You say don't be messing up your lip gloss or something like that.
No, it don't be messing up my makeup.
Your makeup. I'm sorry. So then, go ahead and.
Thank you. I'm glad you got this for me.
Period.
Because I didn't wear my other one.
Yeah.
But it
was about time for another one.
I still wear it. I just be washing it.
Yeah, you can wash it and keep going. Period.
Yeah, I just be washing it. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate that, Stu. All right, for everybody that's
watching. I be
watching,
getting compliments on it too.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all can get that at on the Pay to Play website at PayToPlayENT.com. Everybody that's watching this, I appreciate y'all watching. Go follow me and Stu. And remember, what you put in is what you get out.
That's right.
That's right. And I'm going to have to edit.
Well, when I was walking